Hi guys, I'm going to talk to you today about keeping your expectations realistic when it comes to your earnings when doing Uber for the week. For those based in California, there's going to be some big changes coming this year. AB4 is going to be kicking through. Uber said they won't comply, so we're going to see what happens. Until then, it's kind of up in the air. I will be bouncing around more ideas regarding rideshare. What applies for Uber can also apply to Lyft or any of the other things that they have going on right now. So why don't you give me a follow? So anyway, what constitutes realistic earnings? A lot of folks that have been doing this for a long time have said earnings used to be better. But let's be 100% crystal clear about this. This job only requires that you drive safely. As an Uber user, when I need to get around places, I've had a few drivers that are kind of... yeah, I'm still here, so I guess. Anyway, there's this big push for $15 an hour, as well as making rideshare drivers employees rather than independent contractors. It remains to be seen how this is all going to play out. It's going to be a little messy, I think. Everyone's going to have to get a few things hashed out. So I'm going to hold off. As far as right now, we can go ahead and take a look at what I've earned this last week of November. I'll go ahead and pull that up. So for today, December the 1st, I went ahead and made $114 with 16 trips. I was only online for 7 hours. Kind of took me to a few out of the way places where I wasn't going to get anything unless I moved again. So keep that in mind. My weekly earnings for November 25th until December the 2nd is $951.42. I have 53 hours online, 39 minutes, earned 198 points, and completed 120 trips total. The breakdown. The trip earnings, 680.34. I received $224 in tip. Now my best 2 days, obviously, were the day before Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving. I earned $182 the day before Thanksgiving, and I earned $177 on Thanksgiving Day. I spent about 9 hours on both of them. Overall, not so bad for sitting in the car. Let me explain. There are guys that are going around saying they were netting $30 an hour. That's great. That's how it used to be. But let's be real. Where else are you going to find a job that doesn't require any kind of special skill set, that is a low-skilled position, and get paid that much? You're not going to get that much in fast food. You're not going to get that much working at a movie theater. What are you expect? Let's do a total breakdown. So we're going to go ahead and take the final tally of this week, $959.42, and divide that by the total amount of time online, which is 53.5 hours. I'm going to chop off that last 9-minute bit there. I'm just going to say 53 hours and 30 minutes. So what that works out to is 959.42 divided by 53.5. We've got $17.93. Now, you should count that as take home, especially if you're used to commuting a long amount of hours. Here's why. Back and forth to a job that I had about 30 miles away from where I lived, every day I would spend about $30 on gas. At one point I was using a 99 Solara as well as a 2003 Chrysler Town & Country. They aren't the most gas efficient vehicles. Right now I'm using a Toyota Yaris. I get 355 miles, 10 gallons, $35. It lasts me 2 to 3 days. If I'm really driving, if I'm really crushing it, it's gone that same day. That's rare, but the gas costs are way lower. I'm used to substantially more costs, almost double that. It would take $60 to full tank the van, and I see a lot of guys out there doing Uber, Lyft, and whatnot, and they're using these vans. You're gonna lose money. You are definitely gonna lose money if you don't play the game correctly. It is a game. You're constantly analyzing where you can get the best returns, where you can position yourself. Now, this 1 week isn't a fluke, and let me go ahead and pull something up here. The next week I'm going to pull up is the middle of October. Now, if you're really, really going at it, really crushing it, here's what you can do. According to the earnings statement for October 14th through the 21st, I earned $989.70. I did 118 trips, earned 212 points, and my total time online was 50 hours and 48 minutes. Let's go ahead and plug that into the calculator and let's calculate that hourly rate there. Since everyone's so focused on hours, I'm going to chop the time just a bit because I'm not going to calculate 48 minutes, 0.7888. I'm going to keep it simple, 50.75 hours. So we have $989.70 divided by 50 hours, 0.75. Now, if you look here, the earnings potential is $19.50 an hour. Commuting costs money. At a normal 9-to-5 job, let's say you're working McDonald's or at a front desk, you cannot deduct the mileage or your monthly payments that you make for your vehicle going to and from your 9-to-5. You just can't. There would really be no way, unless you're doing rideshare. That's for another video. This is really just about keeping your earnings realistic. After payroll taxes and all the other costs that you've incurred, let's say you're working at a taxi company, how much are you taking home on your monthly checks or your bi-weekly checks? Do the math. The second part of this is when you keep your earnings realistic, you have to think, what market am I in? Your area is important. The time you drive is important, and the time of the year is important. Your area might have more summer vacationers coming in than winter ones. It might switch around. If you can only drive past 9 p.m., you're not going to get as much as a guy that starts at 10 in the morning, or the guy that's starting at 7 and goes all the way till 5 p.m. Who knows? It really depends. That's really something that you can control, kind of. If you're doing this as a side gig, obviously you want to focus more on your day job. If you're doing this to try to make it your full-time, then it really behooves you to look at your local market to find out when people are coming, when people are going. It's important to find out where people are usually at and what they're into. Where are they going to go afterwards? Do students in your area typically eat out? Do they want to go somewhere? Do they head downtown? And your area. Area is very important. For me in California, it's a lot easier to have this constant stream of people, especially in a major city in California. It might be different if you're in Chicago or in Detroit. They're still major cities. New York, Miami. There's different rules, there's different laws, there's different regulations. But let's be real. If you're in Tulsa, you're not going to get as much out of this program doing this as if you lived in any of the major coastal cities. That's just where the people are. That's just the fact of the matter. If you're in one of these areas that are more rural than urban, it's probably best if you just keep this a part-time thing rather than something that you rely on. This is very important. Okay, I don't want to blow smoke up your you-know-where and tell you it's going to be okay. Because in some areas that's not realistic. It won't be okay. I don't want you to do that. Okay, so I kind of touched on this. Vehicle efficiency. Efficiency in general. Okay, you need to look at the vehicle that you're using and figure out, is it cost effective? Is it worth the maintenance costs? And am I able to deduct vehicle costs? Whether it's fuel, repairs, whatnot, how much you're paying for it. Get a real tax guy. I am not him. Gotta keep saying that. Go speak to one. This is important. How long do you take breaks? Where do you take breaks? What do you do during breaks? Is it anything that makes money, or are you just kind of sitting looking at some nice sunset scenery, or what? I kind of do a mix. I keep my breaks really short. I try not to hang out too long. The last bit that will crush your efficiency is traffic. Again, I don't know how it is in Toronto, don't know how it is in Vancouver, but here in California, especially Southern California, if you're out at the wrong time of the day, good luck getting anywhere within an hour. You're going to be sitting on the I-5 or on the 405 for a while. If you're not an aggressive driver, I'm not saying a bad driver, don't start cutting and weaving, but if you're not a little bit more aggressive than usual, you're probably going to sit on the 101 and never move. That's just how it is. It's important that you plan your routes, plan your day, get a car that's worth it, be in an area that's worth it, and that's how you can maximize your earnings on this. As it stands right now, AB4 might be a bad thing, because if you're guaranteed 15 and only 15 an hour, you're not going to make any more than that. No company is going to let you make more than what they're obligated to pay you. Right now, it really is up to the amount of work that you put in. If your market isn't ideal, if the vehicle you have isn't the most efficient one that you can procure for this kind of side gig, or at this attempt at a full-time job. Now, if you have a family relying on you to bring home some money consistently, predictably, it's going to be there to pay for the mortgage, you probably need to get a traditional job. I'm not saying that's what you're locked into forever, or if that's what you want, great, you do you. But you need to handle your bills. You need to make sure that this is something sustainable for you, and you need to make sure that this doesn't impact you so much it starts affecting your health. Well, I hope that gave you a few things to think about. Remember, this is an unskilled occupation, if you can call it that. It's a gig. You have to make sure that it's worth it for you. If it's helping you out, great. But please, manage your expectations. You have to think to yourself, should the guy at McDonald's be paid as much, if not more, than a licensed vocational nurse or a registered nurse? Paid as much as a doctor. Those days, $30, $40, $50 an hour, they're gone. Why should that be the norm? All you're doing is driving. It's important, it's needed, it's part of the modern landscape, but let's be 100% realistic about this. People have been coming in and seeing what the old timers were getting, and they've cut out a slice of that pie. When you add more people, the amount that's earned goes down. That's just how it is. There's more and more people every year, not less. And that's for every occupation. Stand out, be different, do a good job, just keep it real. I'll talk to you guys later.